A quiet settling begins the moment the mind enters a calm space, and this story offers a gentle path into that stillness. In this soft bedtime version of The Princess and the Pea, the focus rests on steady scenes, mild details, and the slow pace of a night shaped by rain. The tone remains simple and clear as it guides the listener into a peaceful world where a quiet castle, a long journey, and a carefully prepared bed create the setting for rest. The rain outside plays a steady role, adding a calm backdrop that supports the unfolding events. Nothing moves quickly, and nothing presses for attention. Every part of the introduction prepares the listener to drift into the story with ease, allowing thoughts to settle as the night grows softer and the atmosphere becomes calm enough for sleep. Chapter 1. Begin with a quiet setting filled with soft falling rain. Begin in a quiet room where rain moves slowly across the windows. The sound of each drop is soft and steady, marking time without hurry. Outside, the street lights throw a mild, steady glow onto wet stone and pavement. The air close to the window feels cooler than the interior, carrying a faint scent of damp earth. A thin curtain shifts with a subtle draft, and its movement is small and untroubled. The lamp on the bedside table spreads a warm, even light that does not demand attention. The furniture holds a stillness, as if it prefers the company of the rain. The floor is firm beneath a pair of slippers that rest untouched near the door. A slow clock on the mantel counts seconds in soft, clear ticks that do not hurry the quiet. The whole room seems to breathe with the rain, each small sound fitting into the calm pattern of the night. Invite attention to the rain as it moves from roof to gutter in unbroken motion. The water finds low places and follows them, making a low whisper at the edge of the house. Small rivulets join together and move in gentle lines down glass. The roof makes a hollow, distant note when a larger drop falls and touches tile. The gutters murmur with a steady, hollow tone that changes little from moment to moment. The trees near the house let the drops pass through their leaves with soft tapping that is light and regular. The distant sound of a car crossing a wet road comes and goes, low and uninsistent. A faint scent of steam rises where the pavement meets warm air, blending with the clean smell of rain. The night holds no sudden noises, only the slow, even music of falling water. Notice the body with a simple, inviting awareness of the breath. The chest rises and falls in an unforced rhythm that matches the weather outside. The shoulders sit lower when attention lingers on the space between inhales and exhales. The hands rest easily, perhaps warmed by a light blanket or by the quiet of the room. A small heaviness gathers in the limbs that signals release rather than strain. The heartbeat moves steadily, neither hurried nor slow, and each beat fades into the next with calm regularity. Muscles around the jaw and eyes soften as the mind follows the breath's steady pace. A gentle warmth spreads across the torso, like the memory of a soft blanket placed over the knees. The simple act of noticing the rhythm of breathing brings the senses into alignment with the slower tempo of the evening. Imagine now a distant place where a small castle stands under the same sky and rain. The castle has quiet walls that keep out the chill of the wind. Its stones are darkened by the light rainfall, and water runs in thin lines along the masonry. The towers are still and unmoving, with windows that glow faintly from within. A narrow path leads to the main door, and each step on that path is lightly washed by the rain. The trees around the castle drip gently, and their branches tilt under the weight of moisture in a relaxed manner. Lantern light shows small pools on the ground where cobblestones meet gutters. The air around the castle is cool and close, carrying the clean taste of rain and a faint mineral scent from the walls. The night around the castle is patient, neither bright nor dark, holding a quiet gray that feels restful. Describe the arrival of a traveler at the castle, a person who seeks rest more than anything else. The traveler's coat is damp at the shoulders where rain met fabric in steady touch. Her steps are measured and calm as she crosses the path and reaches the door, A small attendant opens the door and leads her into a quiet hall that does not speak but offers gentle shelter. Her shoes leave a faint trace on the floor, a brief reminder of the walk from gate to hall. The air inside is slightly warmer than outside, carrying the scent of lantern oil and wood. Her hands are free of any weight except for the dampness of the sleeves, and her posture shows relief at being protected from the rain. She moves without hurry and without haste, carrying an intention only to rest and remain still. The servant guides her with soft movements and quiet steps, not speaking above a low, steady tone. Guide attention to the small room prepared for rest, a space made with simple, comforting choices. The bed fills most of the room in gentle proportion, with covers folded at the edge and a soft mattress waiting. A small wooden table holds a single lantern, whose light spreads in even circles on smooth surfaces. A woven rug rests beneath a chair, its threads slightly raised under a hand that has cared for them. The window shows lines of rain moving past, and the chair beside it offers a place to sit and listen. The wardrobe stands closed, the wood cool to the touch and smelling faintly of polish. A basin and pitcher sit near the door, the metal curved and quiet, reflecting the lamp's glow with a soft sheen. Each simple object is positioned for ease, meant to make small tasks easier in the dim light. Invite the view toward the bed as it is prepared with deliberate, gentle care. The mattress is tall, supported by a sturdy frame that makes no sound. Sheets lie smooth and even, folded to welcome a body without sudden change. A stack of thin mattresses is arranged with care, one upon another, each adding a gentle layer of support. A single blanket rests at the top, its surface textured in a way that is pleasant to touch. The pillow gives slightly when pressure is applied and returns without stiffness when release follows. The bedstead's headboard holds the light from the lantern in a warm way, reflecting a soft glow back into the room. A small stool sits near the bed for placing slippers or a folded robe, kept ready for the voice of sleep. The entire bed presents itself as an invitation to remain, to lie down and quiet the movement of the day. Imagine the princess as she makes her way toward the bed with a calm, steady presence. Her steps are careful on the wooden floor, and each movement is measured by thought rather than haste. Her hands smooth the sheet at the side where she plans to lie, making small adjustments with quiet care. Her coat is folded over the chair and set aside with an easy motion that does not call attention. Her hair is damp at the ends from the rain, and the strands fall in soft lines against her neck. She sits at the bed's edge for a single long breath, feeling the support beneath her. Her eyes follow the slow movement of rain on the window, and the sight brings a sense of quiet contentment. She lifts the covers and settles in without a sudden move, allowing the body to sink into the arranged layers. Describe the act of settling, with attention to small physical sensations that carry calm. The mattress accepts weight evenly, and there is a mild sense of support across the spine. The sheets touch the skin with a cool, dry surface that warms with the body's presence. The blanket rests lightly atop, providing a subtle barrier against the room's cool air. The pillow cradles the head with a steady softness that does not yield completely. The weight of the shoulders sinks down and is met with firm, gentle resistance from the mattress below. The hands rest across the torso, the fingers finding a place on the blanket without tension. The face relaxes, and muscles around the mouth soften into an expression of easy neutrality. Each breath becomes longer and gentler as the body settles into the composed space. Notice the small, quiet discomfort that appears in the midst of rest, a minor prick of awareness that does not disturb the overall calm. A single point beneath the bedding offers a slight pressure that is distinct from the rest of the bed's smooth surface. It is small enough to be noticed by attention, but not large enough to cause immediate movement. The pressure is local and direct, felt as a small, firm point that presses against the body's surface. It is small enough. The princess adjusts her position by a degree, turning her shoulder enough to seek a softer alignment. The change in position gives a brief shift in sensation, moving the small pressure slightly, but not removing it altogether. She does not react with alarm or complaint, instead attending to the feeling with mild curiosity. The presence of that single point becomes part of the room's honest truth, neither exaggerated nor ignored. Guide the listener through the princess's calm response to this minor sensation as the night carries on. She stays still long enough to observe the point rather than immediately rise or call out. Her breathing keeps its gentle pattern, and the rhythm of the rain continues outside without change. The lantern's light maintains a steady touch over the room that helps measure time without hurry. The princess turns her head slightly, not to note the point as a problem, but to register its reality within the wider quiet. Her hand moves only a little palm resting on the blanket over the pressure is felt. The touch of her hand gives a mild, reassuring contact that balances the small discomfort. The mind notes the point and then places it among many small, simple details of the night. She returns to the steady pace of breathing and allows the body to accept the bed's overall support once more. Imagine the evening continuing its untroubled course toward a gentler sound and softer light. The rain grows a fraction quieter as the clouds begin to thin in places above distant hills. Patches of slightly lighter sky make the night less heavy and more like a long, slow exhale. The lantern's flame remains steady, but its light shifts in small, imperceptible ways that make the room feel softer. The warmth from the bed and the room blends with the cool air coming in brief. Faint breaths through a slightly open window. The small clock on the mantel keeps its steady counting, and the pattern of its ticks becomes part of the evening's quiet rhythm. The princess's breathing lengthens without effort, and each exhalation reaches a small place of release. The simple acceptance of the night's pace allows attention to rest on minimal detail, and then dissolve. Invite a gentle easing into sleep as movements grow fewer and thoughts thin into slow, distant shapes. The body grows heavier in a way that feels natural and unforced, and limbs become still in the quiet of the bed. The minor pressure beneath the coverings fades into a background that no longer commands focus. The room's sounds merge into a single, even field of gentle notes made by rain, wood, and lamp. The mind narrows its focus to slow pulses of breath and the soft cadence of steady sound. The edge of awareness becomes smooth and rounded, making the transition from wakefulness to sleep gradual and mild. The weight of the eyelids finds their limit and lowers without effort. The bed holds the body fully as awareness moves inward into a calmer space. As the rain outside softens to a thinner, patient hush, the night fills with an uncomplicated quiet that is easy to remain within. The castle and its small room maintain their stillness, holding the rest without making it fragile. The lantern light dims in small degrees, blending with the natural gray of rain-darkened glass. Quiet deepens across the floor and under the covers, and each small object holds the same gentle state. The person resting breathes in and out with even, measured timing, and thoughts do not press for attention. The small point that once made itself noticed now exists only as one small part of a broader ease. The sound of rain becomes less like a rhythm to follow and more like a soft surface on which rest can spread. The sleep that follows is steady and light at first, and then it moves into deeper, more even stages. The final stretch of the night is calm and uncomplicated, and the room keeps its steady presence until morning. The house around the castle continues to breathe with the weather, and the same soft sounds persist with little change. The bed supports rest without judgment and without expectation, and the body remains held within that neutral safety. The quiet is not empty, but full of small, gentle details that do not demand response. The long inhale and slow exhale repeat without strain, and energy rests in an even feel. The rain stays soft enough that when dawn arrives the rooms will feel refreshed, rather than disturbed, for now the steady, plain miracle of rest proceeds, slow and unremarkable, bringing a quiet close to the night. Chapter 2. Invite your mind to slow as gentle droplets continue. A gentle sense of calm begins to form the moment attention rests on the soft rhythm of the rain outside, offering a natural pause that helps the mind release the pace of the day. The steady pattern of droplets creates an atmosphere that encourages slower thoughts and quieter reactions. Each sound blends into the next without interruption, giving the evening a balanced tone that supports unwinding. The air in the room feels mild and settled, carrying only the faintest hint of coolness from outside, which adds a soothing contrast to the stillness within. The light in the space settles comfortably against the walls, gentle enough to ease the eyes, yet steady enough to maintain a sense of quiet presence. With every passing moment, the rain becomes a calm background that helps thoughts move at an easier pace. The droplets landing on the roof form a soft echo that stretches into the corners of the room without demanding any response. This simple sound guides attention away from any lingering tension and toward a quieter internal pace. The breath follows this guidance naturally, shifting into a slower, more balanced rhythm. Each inhale feels smoother, and each exhale releases a small portion of the day's remaining weight. Shoulders relax without effort, and the space between thoughts grows wider and softer. As the mind slows, small details become more noticeable, yet none of them pull attention too sharply. The slight sway of a curtain near the window adds gentle movement to the still room. The faint scent of rain drifting through a narrow window opening brings a clean, quiet presence to the air. Even the subtle creak of settling furniture seems to join the rain in forming a calm, steady environment. The body feels supported by whatever surface it rests on, whether a chair, a bed, or a simple cushion, and the sense of support encourages a deeper release into comfort. The rain continues at an even pace, creating a soft layer of sound that makes the room feel sheltered and safe. Thoughts begin to stretch out, losing their sharp edges as attention drifts from one quiet detail to another. A sense of spaciousness forms, not from movement, but from the absence of urgency. The mind does not need to process anything quickly. Instead, it can move slowly, allowing itself to settle more fully with each breath. This slower pace brings a sense of grounding, as if every part of the room works together to create a place where rest naturally grows. Breathing becomes smoother as the quiet deepens. There is no need to change anything consciously. The body knows what to do when the environment becomes calm enough. The chest rises in a slow wave, and the release that follows carries away small pockets of lingering tension. Muscles around the eyes soften, and the forehead eases into a comfortable stillness. Even the jaw, often tight without notice, begins to loosen as the mind's pace gently declines. Nothing feels rushed or forced. The shift happens in steady, natural steps. The sound of rain against the window adds a delicate rhythm that supports this gradual slowing. Each droplet creates a soft note that blends into a gentle harmony with the next. These sounds form a pattern that doesn't require interpretation, allowing the mind to drift without needing to analyze or respond. The room feels warmer now, not from heat, but from the sense of quiet stability the rain brings. Small flickers of light on the walls add a subtle visual softness that helps the mind continue easing into stillness. As thoughts unwind, even the simplest sensations feel more balanced. The smooth texture of a blanket resting across the legs becomes a grounding presence. The faint vibration of distant rainfall creates a low murmur that feels steady and supportive. The breath shifts into a deeper, slower pattern that aligns easily with the soundscape of gentle droplets. The mind begins to settle into these sensations as though each one contributes to an expanding sense of rest. The rain continues without rushing, making the world outside feel slower and more peaceful. The familiar sounds of drops running along the edges of the roof or sliding down the glass create a quiet continuity that encourages the mind to match its pace. Thoughts become lighter, drifting through the mind without staying long or forming a strong pull. Each passing moment adds a little more ease to the internal rhythm, helping the body settle more comfortably into the evening. Even the light in the room seems to adjust to this slower tempo. Shadows soften along the edges of furniture, and the glow from any lamp or candle becomes a warm, steady presence that supports the restful mood. The combination of dim light and soft rain creates a gentle environment where nothing feels sharp or demanding. The room almost hums with the smooth balance between stillness and subtle sound. Breathing now feels like the quiet anchor of the scene. Each inhale arrives with unhurried ease, filling the chest with calm steadiness. Each exhale softens muscles and clears small remnants of the day's pace. The rain outside continues to move with the same patient sound, encouraging the body and mind to follow along. Time becomes less defined, moments simply pass, each one holding enough space for rest to deepen. As attention stays with this calm environment, a deeper sense of relaxation starts to settle in. Nothing needs to be controlled. Everything unfolds in a measured, balanced way. The slow rhythm of the rain helps the mind drift into a quieter, more reflective state. The air feels still, the room feels safe, and the body feels ready to ease into even deeper rest. Any remaining tension releases with each slow breath, leaving a comfortable sense of openness. The night continues at this peaceful pace. The rain offers a soft, continuous backdrop that gently guides the mind away from the fast pace of the day. Thoughts drift further apart, leaving a spacious quiet that feels natural and soothing. The room maintains its calm atmosphere, wrapping the senses in steady comfort. As the rhythm of the droplets continues, the mind gradually sinks deeper into relaxation, encouraged by the soft balance of sound, breath, and stillness. Eventually, the rain becomes not just a sound but a feeling and easy steadiness that spreads through the entire environment. The body rests more fully, the breath finds a settled pattern, and the mind moves gently toward the quiet threshold of sleep. In this calm space, the slowing of thoughts becomes complete, and the soft harmony of droplets outside becomes the last sound the mind follows before drifting into deep, peaceful rest. Chapter 3. Notice your breath easing while the room feels calm. A steady sense of peace begins the moment attention settles on the simple rise and fall of breathing, creating a gentle shift that invites the whole body into a deeper calm. The breath moves in without strain, filling the chest with an even, soothing presence that asks for nothing more than quiet awareness. The room around this slow movement feels soft and steady, holding a stillness that encourages the breath to continue in its relaxed rhythm. Each exhale releases a small portion of the day's leftover tension, making space for an even smoother inhale to follow. The air seems mild and balanced, neither too warm nor too cool, supporting comfort without distraction. As the breath becomes easier, the body begins to match its slower tempo. The shoulders naturally lower, not through effort but through simple permission to rest. The hands rest comfortably where they are, free of any need to grip or hold. The spine settles into a balanced shape that feels supportive without being rigid. Every gentle expansion of the lungs brings a quiet reminder that nothing needs to be rushed anymore. The room seems to echo this slower rhythm, as if the stillness in the space rewards each calm breath with a deeper sense of ease. The quiet around the breath helps focus drift inward in a way that feels natural and steady. The air entering the nose brings a clean, subtle sensation that cools slightly at the top of the inhale. The release through the mouth or nose provides a warm, smoothing softness that moves downward through the chest. These sensations shift gently with each cycle, offering a calm repetition that does not feel heavy or forced. The room supports this rhythm by holding a stable, balanced silence that makes every breath clearer and more noticeable. Soft shadows across the walls stay still as the breath continues to slow. Their unmoving shapes help settle the eyes, giving the mind fewer details to process. The dim lighting throughout the space creates a comfortable tone that allows the breath to become the central point of awareness. Nothing in the environment pulls attention sharply. Instead, every small detail contributes to an atmosphere that naturally supports quiet observation. The breath continues to ease, becoming lighter and more stable with each passing moment. As inhaling and exhaling settle into a calm pattern, the chest feels more open and spacious. This sense of openness does not require any special action. It arrives simply from slowing down. The upper back loosens slightly, making each breath feel smoother along the spine. The belly softens as tension leaves the muscles, allowing the lower part of the body to join in the comfort. The breath becomes an anchor that steadies attention, while everything else in the room remains peaceful and still. The sound in the environment remains soft and low, creating a soundscape that blends easily with the rhythm of breathing. Even small noises, such as the faint hum of air or the distant movement of the night outside, feel gentle and unobtrusive. These sounds surround the breath in a way that feels supportive rather than distracting. As breathing continues to ease, the quiet in the room deepens and grows more noticeable. This growing quiet helps the mind settle into a comfortable clarity. The expansion of the lungs now feels smooth and evenly paced. Each inhale rises steadily, meeting a calm center point before turning into a soft exhale. The exhale moves slower than the inhale, lengthening naturally as the body releases tension without needing direction. The muscles around the ribs relax, making room for each breath to move with less resistance. Breathing becomes something felt throughout the whole body, not just in the chest. A gentle warmth spreads through the torso, easing into the arms and legs with unhurried simplicity. The room seems to embrace this calm rhythm, offering a stable environment where the breath can continue without interruption. The air feels gentle on the skin, creating a light sensation that adds to the overall sense of ease. The temperature remains steady, neither shifting nor creating contrast that might interrupt the growing comfort. The walls hold a quiet stillness, and the floor beneath remains firm and reliable. Every part of the room feels aligned with the slow, steady breathing pattern. As the breath becomes lighter, thoughts begin to soften in the background. They no longer press forward or demand attention. Instead, they drift in a calm, distant way that supports rest. The mind feels less crowded, giving the breath more space to guide the moment. Each new inhale arrives with a sense of calm clarity, and each exhale leaves behind a small trail of relief. This cycle continues smoothly, helping the entire body sink deeper into the present moment. The quiet around the breath feels almost like a soft layer that wraps around the senses. Vision becomes more relaxed as the eyes settle on a simple point or gently close. Hearing becomes more attuned to the subtle movements of air and breath, rather than external noise. The sense of touch becomes clearer, noticing the softness of fabric, the steadiness of the surface beneath, and the lightness of air against the skin. All these sensations work together to help the breath ease even more naturally. As the body relaxes further, tension stored in smaller muscles releases quietly. The area around the neck softens, allowing the head to rest more comfortably. The back finds a comfortable alignment that does not require adjustment. Even the legs feel heavier, grounded by the growing ease of breathing. This weight feels peaceful rather than restrictive, helping the body sink into restful stillness. Each breath encourages this process, guiding the body into a deeper state of calm. With each gentle inhale, the room feels more spacious. The mind begins to sense the openness created by slowing down. There is no urgency, no need to move quickly, no pressure to respond to anything. The room supports this slow pace, holding a steady silence that feels safe and grounding. The breath becomes almost like a soft wave moving through the body, arriving with ease and leaving with quiet release. This rhythm helps attention stay in the present, unbothered by anything outside this moment. The flow of breathing now feels like a natural part of the evening's quiet. The sensations in the chest and belly blend seamlessly with the stillness of the room. Thoughts drift slow and light, without settling or pressing. The breath steadies them gently, keeping them from becoming weighty or demanding. The atmosphere in the room encourages the mind to continue drifting into a softer, quieter space. As the breath continues its gentle rhythm, the body settles deeper into relaxation. Warmth spreads through the limbs, creating a comfortable heaviness that supports rest. The chest rises with smooth ease, and the release that follows is long and restful. The air feels soft as it enters and leaves, adding a mild comfort that helps the mind grow quieter. Every part of the room remains calm, with nothing disturbing the gentle cycle of breathing. The quiet grows thicker and more comforting as the breath slows even further. Time feels less defined, and thoughts stretch into peaceful distance. The breath becomes the center of this calm, guiding the body and mind into a state that invites rest. The air in the room remains steady, the shadows stay soft, and the stillness holds strong. With each slow inhale and each long exhale, the body moves closer to the ease it has been seeking. Eventually, the breath becomes so gentle that it feels almost effortless. The body is relaxed, the room is calm, and the mind is clear enough to drift into deeper rest. This simple awareness of breathing, held in a quiet space, creates a pathway toward peaceful sleep. The cycle continues, soft and steady, guiding the entire being into calm, quiet, and deep relaxation. Chapter 4. Imagine a quiet castle, resting under a steady nighttime shower. A quiet strength settles in the mind the moment the image of a distant castle begins to take shape, drawing attention into a calm and steady night where everything moves at an unhurried pace. The scene forms slowly, shaped by the soft rhythm of rain falling over wide stone walls that stand firm against the evening air. Each drop lands with a muted sound that blends into a constant soothing backdrop, giving the entire landscape a balanced, peaceful tone. The sky above holds a deep, even shade of night, and the clouds move in gentle layers that drift without urgency. The castle does not glow brightly. It rests in a dim, warm light that outlines its shape in a quiet, understated way. The walls carry a darkened color from the moisture gathering on their surface, and the stones appear smooth where the water runs freely down their sides. The towers rise in steady, simple lines that do not try to impress but simply exist with a strong, calm presence. Small windows hold warm light behind them, their soft glow reflecting faintly across wet roofs and narrow pathways. These windows act like steady markers in the rain, offering small pockets of warmth in an otherwise cool landscape. Outside the main entrance, the ground is covered in a thin layer of water that gathers in puddles across the stone walkway. Each puddle ripples gently whenever a new drop touches its surface, creating small circles that fade quickly into stillness. The air carries the familiar scent of rainfall, clean, mild, and slightly earthy, bringing a steady comfort to the environment. A faint breeze moves across the outer courtyard, cool enough to notice yet soft enough not to disturb anything in its path. Even the trees surrounding the castle stand quietly, their leaves wet and heavy, shifting only when a drop slides along their edges. A long pathway leads up to the castle's entrance, and the stones beneath it glisten under the gentle shower. The rain adds a soft sheen to every surface, removing any harshness from the scene. Lanterns placed along the walkway create small circles of low, golden light, each one reflecting on the wet ground and forming a smooth, calming pattern. These lights guide the gaze toward the castle without demanding attention, allowing the eye to move slowly and comfortably across the landscape. Above the castle, the sky holds no sudden flashes or loud movements. Instead, it remains steady and deep, giving the rain a consistent place to fall. The sound of droplets landing on rooftops creates a quiet rhythm that echoes across the courtyard, filling the space with a soft pulse that never breaks. The atmosphere feels balanced and peaceful, giving the sense that the castle has stood in this calm setting for many quiet nights. Inside the outer walls, the courtyard is simple and open. Rain gathers along the edges of buildings and forms narrow streams that run toward small drains set along the stone. The flowing water moves slowly, making a light trickling sound that adds another layer to the steady nighttime rhythm. A few plants rest along the inner walls, their leaves slightly drooping under the weight of the rain, but still standing with gentle resilience. The castle doors remain closed, but carry an inviting presence. Not rigid or cold, they are made of thick wood, darkened by moisture, and reinforced with smooth metal accents that reflect small amounts of lantern light. The handles remain still, untouched by activity, allowing the entire scene to maintain its peaceful, unbroken pace. As the rain continues, the surroundings become even more settled. The night deepens in a way that feels soft rather than heavy, The soft patter of droplets creates a layer of sound that masks any distant noise, making the castle feel like a place separate from the rest of the world. This sense of separation feels comforting, offering a space where nothing needs to be done quickly, and nothing needs attention beyond the slow appreciation of the peaceful atmosphere. The castle itself seems to breathe with the weather. The roofs hold tiny streams of water that slide down their sides before landing softly on the ground. The stones stay cool under the constant shower, giving off a sense of stable, grounded calm. The structure stands still, not resisting the rain, but simply accepting it as part of the night. Within the walls, small hallways hold their own quiet. While they are not visible from the outside, their presence can be sensed through the faint glow that slips through a few narrow windows. These hallways hold warm air that contrasts with the cooler outside atmosphere, creating a gentle balance between the outer rain and the inner rest. The quiet inside seems to match the calm outside, creating harmony between all areas of the castle. The rain does not increase or fade. It remains steady, falling in thin vertical lines that sweep across the landscape like a soft curtain. This steadiness brings reassurance, soothing the mind into a place of simple awareness. Nothing dramatic forms in the sky, and no sudden bursts of wind break the calm. Everything settles into a gentle, continuous pattern that feels safe and grounding. From a distance, the castle looks like a quiet companion in the night present, steady and peaceful. The trees around it do not sway but remain lightly still, their branches carrying droplets that gather and fall one at a time. The grass at the outer edge of the courtyard bends under the moisture, adding a layer of soft movement to the scene. Even the small stones scattered along the pathway appear slightly smoother under the steady rainfall. As attention drifts across the scene, each detail adds another sense of quiet. The slow movement of water down the walls, the gentle reflection of lantern light on wet stone, the muted sound of the rain landing on the ground, the distant, faint hum of wind moving behind the trees. Every element works together to create a unified calm that surrounds the castle. With time, the mind begins to settle into the same rhythm as the scene. Thoughts slow, matching the steady fall of rain. The breath becomes calmer as the peaceful imagery shapes a comfortable inner stillness. The castle, with its quiet presence and gentle surroundings, becomes a resting place for attention, asking for nothing but simple observation. The longer the scene holds, the deeper the calm becomes. The rain remains patient, continuing its soft descent. The castle stands firm, steady against the night. The entire landscape stays quiet, each part contributing to the soothing atmosphere. Nothing in the scene pushes or pulls. Everything settles naturally into tranquility. Imagining this quiet castle under a steady nighttime shower allows the mind to rest in a gentle space where calm unfolds effortlessly. The stillness within and around the walls creates a picture of ease that helps the body soften and the breath deepen. The night continues without strain, carrying the castle and the rain through peaceful moments that stretch comfortably into the darkness. In this steady, soothing night, the castle remains a calm figure beneath the falling droplets, offering a place where the mind can settle, the senses can rest, and the night can unfold with soft simplicity. Chapter 5. Describe a peaceful princess arriving to rest after a long journey. A calm strength fills the scene the moment the princess steps into view, carrying the quiet dignity of someone who has moved through a long day and is finally reaching a place meant for rest. Her arrival does not stir the night or break the stillness around the castle. Instead, her presence blends gently with the soft rainfall that continues overhead. The steady sound of droplets sliding down stone walls creates a peaceful background as she approaches the entrance with slow, purposeful steps. Her cloak, lightly damp from the journey, clings softly to her shoulders, and the fabric shows small darkened patches where the rain has touched it. Even in the dim light, the calm expression on her face reveals a tired but steady composure, the kind that comes from traveling many hours without complaint. The pathway beneath her feet glistens as she walks, reflecting faint lantern light in uneven streaks. Each step she takes leaves a soft print on the wet stones, but the marks fade quickly as more rain follows behind her. Her posture is relaxed now that she feels the security of shelter nearby. The chill of the night air moves around her without causing discomfort. It simply marks the end of the long journey she has completed. Her breathing is calm and measured, showing no signs of urgency or strain. She is not rushing toward the door. She simply moves with the steady pace of someone ready to release the weight of the day. As she reaches the castle entrance, a gentle glow spills through the narrow windows near the doorway, offering a warm welcome. The wooden door opens with a soft push from the attendant, waiting inside, revealing a hallway filled with muted light and still air. The princess steps inside with quiet gratitude, letting the warmth of the interior settle around her. The shift from cool rain to gentle indoor heat softens the tension in her shoulders, and a slight sigh escapes her chest, not from exhaustion, but from relief. Her cloak is removed with careful hands by the attendant, revealing a simple but elegant outfit that carries the dust of the road in faint traces. The fabric shows the journey she has completed, not in damage or wear, but in the softness of the folds and the slight heaviness from long hours of travel. Her hair, gently dampened by the rain, rests in calm waves down her back. Strands cling lightly to her cheeks, and she brushes them aside with a slow, steady motion. The hallway welcomes her with quiet, steady warmth. The light from the lanterns is soft and diffused, spreading across the stone floors in smooth patches. The air carries a mild scent of polished wood and clean linens, creating a peaceful contrast to the cool, earthy fragrance of the rain she has just left behind. Her footsteps echo faintly, but the sound is gentle and rhythmic, blending seamlessly with the silent calm of the corridor. As she walks deeper into the castle, her movements slow even further. The weight in her legs eases with each step, as though the very walls of the castle are giving her permission to rest. Her eyes soften as she looks around the quiet halls, taking in the simple furnishings and warm tones. The space is not grand or overwhelming. It is comforting in its simplicity, offering a sense of safety that feels earned after a long day of travel. Her journey has taken her across uneven paths, through changing weather, and over long stretches of road. Yet none of that strain appears on her face now. She carries a peaceful presence, not created by avoiding difficulty, but by embracing calm when she finds it. She walks with a quiet steadiness, her hands resting loosely at her sides. Every movement shows a gentle readiness to settle and unwind. Her breath becomes smoother and deeper as she nears the room prepared for her, the rhythm aligning naturally with the calm atmosphere around her. When the attendant leads her through the final hallway, the princess pauses briefly at a small window. Outside, the rain continues its steady fall, covering the courtyard in a thin mist that softens every edge. The sight brings a quiet sense of comfort to her, as if the rain itself marks the end of the day she has completed. She watches the droplets for a moment, allowing her thoughts to slow and settle. The window fogs slightly from her breath, and she steps away when she feels ready to continue. At last, the door to her room opens with a soft sound, revealing a warm, peaceful space designed for rest. The lantern inside casts a gentle glow across the bed, the chairs, and the small table near the window. The princess steps through the entrance and lets the door close quietly behind her. Her presence fills the room in a calm, steady way, as though she brings her own soft energy to match the quiet surrounding her. The first thing she notices is the warmth of the air, a soft contrast to the cool night outside. She walks toward the center of the room, touching her fingers to the back of a chair as she passes. The wood is smooth beneath her hand, holding a slight warmth from the lantern's glow. Her eyes take in each detail with slow appreciation: the neatly folded blanket at the end of the bed, the soft rug underfoot, the faint glimmer on the window where raindrops slide down in thin, gentle trails. Her body responds to the stillness with ease. Her shoulders lower fully, her breath deepens, and the strain of the journey leaves her muscles in steady waves. She removes the last piece of her outer clothing with calm, unhurried movements, placing it neatly over the chair. Her hair loosens slightly as she moves, settling comfortably down her back. She glides across the room with the quiet confidence of someone who feels safe and welcome. As she sits at the edge of the bed, the mattress supports her weight with soft firmness. The feeling brings a gentle comfort she has been seeking since the first steps of her journey. Her hands rest on her lap, and she closes her eyes briefly, allowing the room's calm to gather around her. The softness beneath her and the stillness above her blend into a comforting balance that eases her into a state of quiet readiness. She lifts her gaze once more toward the window, where the rain continues in its calm pattern. Watching the droplets move down the glass brings a steadying effect, helping her settle even deeper into the moment. Her breathing becomes slow and smooth, matching the rhythm of the night outside. Each inhale brings a mild sense of warmth, and each exhale carries away what little fatigue remains. The princess remains in this quiet pause for a long moment, letting her body settle into the comfort of the room. Her journey may have been long, but now she stands in a place of stillness where the only expectation is rest. Her expression softens as she absorbs the peaceful atmosphere, and her mind drifts toward a gentle, calming quiet. The room holds her presence with steady warmth, and the soft light creates a gentle glow that eases her into a deeper sense of peace. The long journey behind her fades from thought as the calm of the night becomes her focus. In this quiet space, the princess finally allows herself to rest, surrounded by the tranquil embrace of a room prepared with care, and the steady rhythm of rain continuing outside as a soothing backdrop for her weary but peaceful arrival. Chapter 6. Guide the listener through her simple room warmed by soft lantern light. A gentle wave of comfort fills the mind the moment the room appears in warm lantern light, creating a calm space where every detail feels steady, quiet, and welcoming after a long day. The lantern sits on a small wooden table, its flame enclosed in clear glass that softens the glow into a steady, warm haze. The light reaches across the room in slow fading layers, touching each surface with a mild golden tone that eases the eyes. Nothing in the space is harsh or bright. Everything carries a quiet softness that invites slow breathing and peaceful attention. The room is simple in design, shaped with gentle curves and clean lines. The walls hold a muted color that absorbs the lantern's glow, giving the space a calm, grounded feel. Shadows collect in the corners, but they remain soft and unthreatening, blending naturally with the warm light. The air feels mild and comforting, warmed slightly by the lantern, and still enough that no movement disturbs the space. The quiet inside the room feels complete, untouched by the faint nighttime shower outside. Near the window, a small chair rests with smooth, rounded edges, positioned where the princess can sit if she chooses to watch the rain. The wood has a gentle sheen, as though polished with care many times, and the surface looks cool but not cold. A light cushion rests on the seat, offering a soft place to settle. Just beside the chair, a narrow windowsill holds a tiny ceramic dish, simple and unadorned, catching a bit of lantern light on its curved surface. The window beside the chair is partially covered by a thin curtain, lightly swaying in an occasional draft. The fabric carries a soft texture, and the lantern light makes it appear warmer in shade. Through the small gap in the curtain, thin lines of rain can be seen traveling down the glass, moving at a quiet pace that matches the calm mood of the room. The faint sound of droplets gently tapping against the window adds depth to the silence, creating a steady rhythm without disturbing the stillness. Across the room, a modest wardrobe stands with smooth wooden doors and simple metal handles. The wood is darker here, providing a gentle contrast to the lighter walls. Its presence adds a sense of order and quiet security to the room. It does not dominate the space. Instead, it simply stands as a calm, steady piece of furniture meant to support ease and rest. The princess's belongings rest neatly inside, hung with quiet care earlier by the attendants. At the foot of the bed, a woven rug lies on the floor, its surface filled with soft threads that create a gentle texture under the feet. It brings a sense of warmth to the room without drawing attention. The rug's muted colors help it blend into the environment, giving the space a grounded and stable feeling. Its presence adds an understated comfort to the entire room. The bed itself draws the eye next, resting against the far wall in peaceful simplicity. The wooden frame holds a subtle shine from years of careful upkeep, and its shape is plain yet inviting. Soft blankets are folded neatly at the end, prepared for the princess should she need extra warmth during the night. The mattress is covered in clean, smooth linens that reflect the lantern light in gentle curves. The pillow, slightly indented at the center, rests near the headboard, suggesting that it has been set with thoughtful attention. The lantern's glow spreads across the bed, creating a warm patch of light that seems to invite stillness. The princess feels her body soften as she walks slowly around the room, absorbing each detail with quiet appreciation. Her steps are light on the floor, matched by the calm rhythm of the rain outside. The air around her feels safe and undisturbed, allowing her to breathe more freely. She approaches the small table where the lantern rests. The flame moves only slightly, shifting in tiny motions that send faint patterns of light along the tabletop. The table holds a small pitcher of water and a plain cup beside it, placed there for her comfort. The items stand quietly, waiting to be used if she wishes. Their presence adds to the sense of thoughtful preparation, reinforcing the room's purpose as a shelter for rest. The room carries the subtle scent of warmed wood, mixed with faint traces of clean fabric. This mild fragrance adds a comforting layer to the atmosphere without overwhelming the senses. The softness of the air helps the princess unwind as she takes in every quiet detail. Her breathing becomes calmer, and the weight of her journey seems to ease naturally into the surrounding stillness. She moves toward the chair near the window, placing her hand gently on its back. The smooth surface welcomes her touch, warm from the lantern's soft glow. She takes a moment to stand there, watching the gentle path of raindrops on the glass. The rain shifts in thin, steady lines, creating a delicate movement that adds peace to the moment. The outside world feels far away, softened by the curtain and the lantern's warmth. The princess then steps back toward the center of the room, allowing herself to fully feel the comfort surrounding her. The quiet is complete, the room holding a harmony of warm light, soft shadows, and gentle sounds. Each detail supports the sense of rest she seeks at the end of her journey. Her posture loosens, her breath flows with ease, and her eyes calm as she absorbs the soft atmosphere. She sits at the edge of the bed, feeling the mattress respond with a gentle firmness. Her hands rest naturally on her lap as she observes the room from this new angle. The lantern's glow reaches her in a warm, steady arc, making her feel more grounded. The steady light helps her release the last traces of tension still held in her shoulders and back. She inhales slowly, allowing the warmth of the room to fill her senses, and exhales with quiet relief. The simplicity of the room offers her exactly what she needs, a safe, calm space where her mind can settle. Nothing presses for attention, nothing overwhelms, everything is arranged with purpose. Soft light, warm air, smooth surfaces, balanced colors, all working together to create a place of gentle comfort. As she prepares to rest, the room absorbs her presence without changing its quiet tone. The lantern's light continues its soft glow. The rain maintains its steady rhythm outside, and the furniture keeps its peaceful stillness. The room becomes an extension of her breath, calm, warm, balanced. The longer she remains in the gentle space, the more she feels herself drawn into a deep, steady relaxation. The lantern reflects its warm glow across the floor, the walls, and the bed, creating an atmosphere that supports her entire sense of ease. The room holds her journey behind her and her rest ahead of her, keeping her present and peaceful in this simple, warm moment. Here, surrounded by the thoughtful arrangement of quiet light and gentle warmth, she finally feels ready to release the day fully. The room receives her with complete calm, and she settles deeper into the comfort it offers, allowing the warmth of the lantern and the stillness around her to guide her into a quiet, restful night. Chapter 7. Imagine her settling onto a tall bed prepared with gentle care. A deep sense of relief fills the moment as she approaches the tall bed, realizing that this quiet space has been prepared with the kind of gentle care that welcomes true rest after a long and steady day. The height of the bed gives it a quiet presence in the room, rising softly from the floor with layers arranged in thoughtful order. Each layer carries its own softness, and the careful arrangement shows that someone wanted her to feel supported the moment she settled into it. The lantern's warm glow reaches across the bedding, making the surface appear smooth, calm, and ready for her tired body. She pauses at the bedside, letting her hands lightly touch the edge of the top blanket. The fabric feels soft and freshly aired, with a clean warmth that promises comfort. Running her fingers across the fold, she notices the even stitching and the gentle texture, a sign that the bed has been tended to with patience. The linens give off a faint scent of clean fabric, subtle and calming, adding to the sense of peace surrounding her. Taking a slow breath, she begins to ease herself toward the bed, allowing her body to recognize the safety of the moment. The floor beneath her is steady, and the air in the room carries a warm stillness that helps her unwind. Her movements are unhurried, shaped by the quiet atmosphere. She lifts the top blanket with a smooth, natural motion, revealing soft sheets beneath that hold a slight coolness from the room's evening air. The bed's height supports her as she sits gently on its edge. The mattress gives beneath her with a controlled softness, meeting her shape without sinking too deeply. The stability of the frame offers a sense of grounding, holding her weight in a reassuring way. Her legs relax, settling naturally over the side of the bed. Her hands rest on the blanket, absorbing the warmth from the lantern's glow. After a moment of quiet breathing, she shifts slightly, turning her body to ease herself into the bed's center. Each movement is slow, deliberate, and quiet, allowing her muscles to adjust to the soft give of the mattress. The sheets brush against her skin with a smooth, clean touch, adding another layer of comfort. She draws the blanket over her with steady hands, and the fabric settles against her with gentle weight. The pillows behind her head are arranged in soft layers. When she leans back, the pillows adjust in a supportive way, neither too firm nor too light. Her head finds its place effortlessly, and the slight elevation helps her breathe in the warm, calm air with ease. Her neck releases tension as the pillow shapes itself around her, offering balanced support without pressing too firmly. She pulls the blanket closer around her shoulders, forming a pocket of warmth that gradually spreads across her chest and down her arms. The even distribution of the mattress beneath her gives her body a sense of being fully held. Her legs settle comfortably beneath the blanket, and the softness of the top layers creates a smooth cradle around her. Her breathing slows naturally as she sinks deeper into the bed's gentle embrace. Each inhale brings a mild sense of calm, and each exhale moves quietly through the still air. The warmth of the mattress flows upward, easing the strain in her back and shoulders. She shifts once more, finding her preferred position, and the bed accommodates her with ease, adjusting without sound. The lantern light dimly washes across the top of the blanket, creating a faint warm pattern that moves only when the flame flickers. The glow gives the room a peaceful stillness, highlighting the simplicity of the moment. Shadows soften along the folds of the blanket and the curve of her arm, creating a soothing visual calm that deepens her sense of comfort. The princess feels her body gradually let go of the day. The warmth surrounding her encourages her to release the final bits of tension lingering in her muscles. Her hands rest loosely over the blanket now, relaxed in a way they have not been since her journey began. Her feet settle deeper into the soft mattress, finding warmth and stability under the covers. In this quiet position, she observes how the bed supports every part of her body. Her shoulders feel light, her back sinks comfortably, and her hips settle into a supportive softness that reduces any strain The sheets move gently with her breathing, creating a soft sound that blends naturally with the faint rain outside the window. The room's warm air surrounds her without shifting, creating a steady cocoon of tranquility. She feels sheltered within it, as though the room has been waiting to welcome her into this moment of rest. The lantern continues its soft glow, but even that light begins to feel softer, as if it understands her need to settle further into quiet. Her eyes grow heavier as she lies fully back, supported on all sides by the carefully prepared bed. The sensations beneath her are balanced, neither too firm nor too soft, and the evenness of those sensations helps her mind feel grounded. The blanket's gentle weight becomes a comforting presence, keeping the warmth close to her skin. She adjusts one final time, letting her head sink deeper into the pillow. The pillow remains quiet, shifting just enough to mold around her neck and shoulders. Her breathing becomes slower still, moving in long, smooth waves that match the steady rhythm of the night outside. Her thoughts start to drift, softened by the comfort holding her. As she grows more comfortable, her senses begin to settle. The faint scent of the linens, the warmth of the blanket, and the steady support of the mattress all blend into a calm experience. The room's silence makes every sensation feel clearer without overwhelming her, helping her drift into deeper rest. The warmth around her chest grows more even, spreading down to her hands and legs. Every part of her body finds its place in the tall, lovingly prepared bed. She no longer feels the weight of her journey. The bed absorbs that weight, replacing it with steady, gentle support. Her breathing continues to slow, matching the softness of the blanket and the calmness of the room. The lantern's glow remains soft and persistent, but her eyes no longer hold focus on it. Her thoughts move in quiet, easy patterns, drifting without urgency. Her body feels lighter as her mind settles deeper into rest, the bed providing the warmth and comfort she has needed. She remains still, fully supported by the careful arrangement beneath her. The blankets hold her in a steady, quiet embrace. The sheets offer cool comfort that gradually warms with her body. The mattress stays stable and soft, giving her the perfect balance for rest. With each passing moment, she drifts a little deeper into relaxation. Her breath becomes smoother, her muscles sink further into the softness, and the gentle warmth around her makes the night feel safe. The tall bed, prepared with thoughtful care, becomes a peaceful place where her long journey can finally fade, replaced by calm, steady rest. In this warm space, she settles quietly, supported by every detail that was arranged with her comfort in mind. The room grows even calmer around her, and the soft lantern glow continues to warm the air as she drifts toward a deep, untroubled sleep. Chapter 8. Notice the quiet moment as she senses a small discomfort. A gentle shift in awareness begins the moment she starts to relax, creating a calm space where even the slightest sensation becomes clear enough to notice without disturbing her peace. As she settles deeper into the soft layers beneath her, her body releases the weight of the day one slow breath at a time. The warmth of the blanket surrounds her in a steady, comforting hold, and the pillow beneath her head supports her with a stable, even softness. Everything around her feels peaceful, yet in the midst of this calm, a small and unexpected sensation begins to rise quietly from within the bed. It is not sharp or alarming. It is simply different enough to catch her attention. She becomes aware of a faint pressure beneath her hip, a small point that does not match the smoothness of the rest of the mattress. The sensation is subtle, almost hidden, but it rests just noticeable enough to draw her focus for a brief moment. Her breath remains slow and steady as the awareness settles in, blending into the quiet room like a soft ripple moving through still water. The lantern continues to glow with gentle warmth, its light folding softly across the blankets. The quiet room does not react to the sensation she feels. Everything remains still, allowing her space to process the small discomfort without urgency. She shifts slightly, not with frustration, but with calm curiosity, letting her body adjust to find a more comfortable position. Her movement is slow, the kind that comes naturally when someone is already half relaxed. Yet even with the shift, The faint pressure remains, subtle but steady. She pauses, letting her body grow still again. The room supports this pause with its warm air and soft shadows. The mattress beneath her remains comforting in every other place, making the single point of pressure feel even smaller. Her breathing moves through the moment like a quiet anchor, keeping her grounded and calm as she observes the sensation with patience. Her eyes remain half closed, and her expression stays soft, untouched by worry or tension. For a while, she simply notices the feeling rather than reacting to it. The small pressure under her is steady, but not overwhelming, and it does not disturb the gentle safety of the room. She allows her body to rest, while keeping only a tiny part of her attention on the discomfort, treating it not as a problem but as a quiet detail in an otherwise peaceful night. The soft sound of rain outside the window merges with her breath, making the moment feel easy and slow. She shifts again, this time with an even more delicate movement, sliding a little farther across the mattress. Her hands lightly adjust the blanket, smoothing it over her legs as she settles into a slightly new position. The sheets glide quietly beneath her, offering a fresh angle of support. The pressure beneath her changes, but it remains faintly present, reminding her again of its small but persistent nature. Still, she stays calm. The sensation is not enough to interrupt her comfort. It is simply another part of the environment. Her body remains warm, and the softness around her holds her with steady reassurance. The lantern's glow forms gentle patterns on the walls, creating a quiet rhythm of light that distracts her mind just enough to prevent the sensation from becoming disruptive. She listens to the low hum of the night and takes another slow breath, letting the room's quiet help her stay at ease. As she rests there, the sensation becomes clearer in its shape and size, though still mild. It feels like a small bump under the layers of bedding, positioned just out of sight. She wonders if it is part of one of the lower cushions or a shift in the arrangement beneath the sheets. But even as she considers it, her thoughts remain soft and patient. She knows she is safe, and this tiny detail holds no threat, only curiosity. Her breath deepens naturally as she continues observing the moment. The quiet sensation of warmth from the surrounding blankets spreads further across her body, helping ease the mild tension caused by the small discomfort. The steady rhythm of the rain provides consistent background sound, making the room feel more insulated and peaceful. The castle walls hold the night outside, leaving her in a cocoon of gentle warmth where even the smallest sensations feel manageable. She runs her hand lightly across the blanket near her hip, not touching the source of the pressure, but grounding herself through the soft texture of the fabric. The blanket's smoothness offers a calming focus, balancing the tiny irregularity beneath her. Her fingers rest there for a moment before relaxing again, folding loosely on top of the covers. Her body shifts just slightly once more, not to escape the sensation, but to settle into a position that accommodates it more comfortably. The mattress adjusts softly beneath her weight, offering new support along her back and shoulders. As she moves, the faint pressure changes location, becoming even less noticeable. She inhales gently, sensing the ease growing through her chest, and exhales in a slow, mellow stream. The room remains warm and welcoming. The lantern casts a steady halo of light that does not flicker sharply. The air is still, moving only when her breath changes the space around her. The softness of the bedding continues to surround her, helping her stay grounded and at peace. This calmness allows her to treat the small discomfort not as an interruption but as a natural experience of settling into a new bed. She closes her eyes fully now, letting the warmth of the pillow beneath her neck encourage deeper relaxation. The faint pressure beneath her becomes distant, no longer commanding her attention. Instead, it blends into the environment like a tiny pebble at the bottom of a quiet stream present, but no longer significant. Her breathing remains slow and steady, matching the gentle silence around her. With each passing moment, the room grows even calmer, and her awareness drifts away from the sensation entirely. Her thoughts begin to soften into the same stillness, moving lightly through her mind, without forming strong impressions. The small discomfort becomes one detail among many, surrounded by the comforting presence of the bed, the glow of the lantern, and the quiet rhythm of the rain. She settles even deeper into the mattress, feeling her body relax fully. Her muscles loosen without effort, her hands grow heavy, and her breathing deepens into a quiet, restful rhythm. The tiny irregularity beneath her no longer matters. It becomes part of the gentle landscape of the night, acknowledged but no longer relevant to her comfort. The room holds her in steady warmth as she drifts further into rest. The air remains soft, the light remains warm, and the rain continues its quiet pattern outside. The sensation beneath her remains small and unchanged, but her acceptance of it transforms the moment into one of deep calm. She rests peacefully, wrapped in comfort, surrounded by quiet, and carried gently towards sleep by the simple steadiness of the night. Chapter 9. Guide the story toward her calm understanding as the night softens. A gentle sense of clarity begins to rise within her as the night grows softer, allowing her mind to drift into a quiet understanding shaped by calm rather than effort. The room holds her in a warm stillness, the lantern's glow settling into a steady hush as its light spreads gently across the blankets and fades into the corners. The air around her grows even more peaceful, carrying a steady warmth that helps her thoughts loosen and stretch into slower, quieter patterns. Each breath she takes feels smoother than the last, bringing her deeper into the comfort of the room and the acceptance of the small lingering sensation beneath her. She no longer views the faint pressure under her as something bothersome. Instead, she recognizes it as a simple part of the night, a small harmless detail that does not take away from the safety enveloping her. Her body remains mostly still, supported by the mattress that holds her in steady comfort. The subtle discomfort is present, but it stays gentle, blending into the softer rhythm of the moment. She allows her thoughts to settle around it with a quiet acceptance, understanding that peace does not always require perfection. Outside the window, the rain shifts into a lighter fall, creating a delicate pattern of sound that feels more soothing than before. The droplets tap the glass with gentle consistency, their steady rhythm guiding her awareness further into rest. The night itself seems to calm, as if settling down with her. The breeze quiets, the clouds soften into thinner shapes, and the darker tones of the sky lighten into a muted wash of gray. This slow change reflects her own shift inward, away from the busyness of the day, and toward a calm understanding shaped by stillness. She lies quietly, her body warmed by the blankets and her mind eased by the quiet atmosphere. Her thoughts move gently, touching on the day she has traveled through but without urgency or tension. Memories shift like soft shapes, drifting without sharp edges, allowing her to observe them without being pulled into them. Even the small sensation beneath her feels less noticeable as her awareness expands, embracing the whole of the moment rather than focusing on a single detail. As her breathing deepens, she becomes more aware of the comfort surrounding her. The sheets feel smooth and cool against her skin. The pillow cradles her head in steady support, and the warmth from the blanket spreads evenly across her body. These sensations wrap her in a sense of security that helps her understand the night not as something to endure, but as a space made for rest. The faint discomfort becomes simply another texture in this peaceful environment, neither troubling nor distracting. The lantern light dims slightly as the flame shifts, creating a softer pattern across the room. Shadows blend into the warm glow in gentle transitions, making the room appear even more restful. She watches these subtle changes with half-lidded eyes, taking in the slow pace of the night with growing tranquility. Every shifting shadow feels calm, every movement of the flame feels quiet, and every passing moment deepens her understanding that she is safe and cared for. As she settles further into the bed, her body becomes heavier in a comfortable way. Her muscles release their final bits of tension, and her hands rest loosely at her sides. Her breathing follows a slow, soothing rhythm that matches the softened rain outside. The night feels lighter now, no longer dense with travel or effort. She feels herself merging with the room's stillness, letting go of everything except the gentle awareness of the present. Her mind moves even more slowly now, drifting between wakefulness and the early stages of rest. Thoughts appear in the quiet spaces of her awareness, then fade naturally without needing answers. She does not try to control them. She simply lets them pass in their own time. This soft acceptance helps her settle into a deeper comfort, understanding that rest comes not from forcing quiet but from allowing it to unfold gently. The faint pressure beneath her seems to shift as her body adjusts, becoming less defined and easier to ignore. She no longer feels bothered by it. Instead, she recognizes it as part of the bed's texture, something small and harmless in a room filled with warmth. This new perspective brings a sense of peace, as though she has learned to rest even in the presence of tiny imperfections. Her calm understanding grows with each breath, helping her sink deeper into the gentle night. The rain softens further, becoming a thin whisper of sound across the castle walls. The window glows faintly from the reflection of the lantern, casting a warm haze that feels even more comforting than before. The room's quiet continues to deepen, matching the gradual slowing of her thoughts. She feels herself growing more connected to the stillness, as though the room and her breath are moving in the same relaxed rhythm. She shifts slightly to adjust her position, not because she is disturbed, but because she is settling into a deeper ease. The mattress responds with gentle support, adapting to her shape without resistance. Her legs relax more fully, sinking into the softness beneath them, and her shoulders loosen until they rest comfortably against the pillow. The small pressure beneath her becomes an afterthought, fading into the background as her body settles into deeper comfort. Her understanding of the moment becomes clearer. She realizes that rest is shaped not by the absence of every small detail, but by her willingness to soften around them. This calm acceptance becomes a steady source of peace. She feels the night supporting her, the warmth holding her, and the quiet guiding her toward deeper relaxation. Her breaths grow longer and more fluid, each one carrying her into a gentle, calm state. The lantern's glow continues to warm the room, but her eyes grow heavier, drawn toward the soothing darkness beneath her eyelids. She keeps them closed now, letting the world shrink to the warmth of the blankets, the softness of the pillow, and the slow rhythm of her breathing. The night around her feels kind, as though it has softened its edges to help her settle. As she continues to drift, the faint sensation beneath her becomes something she barely registers. Her body rests peacefully, her mind floats in a quiet haze, and her understanding of the moment becomes rooted in calm acceptance. The room, the bed, the light, and the softened night all support her in moving gently toward rest. She remains still, warmed by the blankets and protected by the quiet atmosphere. Her breathing continues its relaxed rhythm. Each moment carries her farther into a soft, peaceful state where everything feels manageable, balanced, and steady. The night softens fully around her now, and she sinks deeper into her calm understanding, ready to drift wherever rest naturally leads her. Chapter 10. Invite the listener to drift as the rain grows softer around them. A soothing calm begins to spread the moment the rain outside softens, creating an atmosphere that naturally guides the mind toward rest and gentle drifting. The night settles deeper around the castle, and the sound of the rainfall shifts into a lighter, gentler pattern that encourages the body to loosen and the thoughts to slow. Each drop lands with a softer touch than before, forming a quiet rhythm that blends with the stillness inside the room. The air carries a mild warmth, shaped by the steady lantern glow and the peaceful quiet that fills the space. Everything around her relaxes, and the softness of the night becomes an invitation to drift without effort. The princess remains resting comfortably in the tall bed, her body fully supported by the careful layers beneath her. Her breathing moves in slow, smooth waves, matching the softened sound of the rain outside. The blankets wrap gently around her, holding warmth close and easing the last traces of tension from her muscles. The pillow beneath her head offers consistent support, helping her rest deeper with each quiet moment. As she lies there, the room feels like a calm cocoon, steady and still, encouraging her to drift into peaceful rest. The lantern light dims gradually, becoming a mellow glow that stretches only a short distance across the room. Its warmth continues to comfort her, but it no longer demands attention. The shadows spread gently around the walls, softening into calm shapes that make the room feel even more restful. Every detail blends into a warm harmony, and the slow hush of the night fills the air like a quiet guide. Outside the window, the rain slows into a delicate drizzle, its sound growing lighter and more spaced out. Each drop forms a soft patter against the glass, then fades almost immediately, leaving behind a gentle silence. This softened rhythm helps her mind loosen its hold on the day, making space for a deeper sense of ease. The world outside seems to settle with her, as though the rain understands her need for calm. Her breathing continues to deepen, spreading ease through her chest and shoulders. Each inhale brings a soft, steady warmth. Each exhale releases a subtle wave of comfort that moves down her body. Her thoughts drift in slow, quiet patterns, losing their sharp edges and becoming soft reflections that rise and fall without urgency. She does not follow them, she simply notices them as they fade into the background. The air in the room stays still and gentle, warming her without heaviness. A faint scent of clean linens lingers around her, blending with the mild fragrance of polished wood and the last traces of lantern oil. These soft scents help anchor her senses in the present moment, guiding her into deeper stillness. Her fingers release their tiny hold on the blanket, and her hands become completely relaxed. The rain grows even softer now, shifting from a pattern of droplets to a fine mist that whispers against the walls outside. This subtle change brings a growing sense of peace to the room, making it feel like the entire world is slowing down alongside her. The steady rhythm of her breathing becomes the gentle center of the quiet room, blending seamlessly with the soft night around her. The mattress beneath her remains warm and supportive, cradling her body in a stable softness that encourages her to drift further inward. The faint sensation that once caught her attention earlier has faded entirely now, easing into the background of her awareness. The comfort surrounding her grows deeper with each passing second, and her mind settles into a calm state that welcomes sleep without effort. The lantern flickers once, then steadies again, casting a thin wash of warm light across the room. The gentle glow touches the folds of the blanket, the smooth surface of the bedside table, and the soft edge of the rug beneath the bed. These simple shapes and shadows create a peaceful landscape that asks nothing of her. She allows her eyes to linger on the soft patterns for a moment before her eyelids grow heavy again. Her breath becomes lighter, stretching into longer pauses between each rise and fall. The quiet room supports these pauses, creating a space where she feels safe to drift without needing to hold on to waking awareness. Her shoulders remain loose, her legs warm beneath the blanket, and her mind begins to drift toward the edges of sleep. The calm of the night gathers around her, helping her ease into the softness that surrounds her. The rain outside becomes almost silent now, just a faint whisper brushing across the window. This gentle hush deepens the room's atmosphere, giving it an added sense of serenity. The delicate sound feels like a guide, encouraging her to release the last threads of the day and sink fully into the comfort of the moment. She inhales slowly, feeling the warmth of the bed hold her steady, and exhales with a quiet release that carries her further toward rest. As the night softens, everything around her grows calmer. The lantern glows faintly, casting warm light over the blankets. The air remains still and pleasant, creating an environment where nothing feels rushed or heavy. Her body drifts deeper into the mattress, finding a perfect balance between softness and support. Her mind moves like a slow, gentle tide, drifting toward sleep with quiet acceptance. Her breathing becomes the soft rhythm of the room, each inhale a calm welcome, and each exhale a gentle release. The warmth from the bedding spreads evenly from her shoulders to her toes, wrapping her in a peaceful embrace. Her thoughts continue to dissolve into soft shapes, offering no resistance as they fade quietly into the night. Everything within her settles into a balanced ease, steady and restful. The rain becomes a distant murmur, almost imperceptible, like a quiet reminder of the peaceful world outside. The night holds no distractions, no demands, only a soft invitation to drift into deeper rest. Her body grows heavier with comfort, her breathing slows to a calm whisper, and her awareness begins to float lightly at the edge of sleep. In this gentle state, she no longer thinks about the day, the journey, or even the room around her. All that remains is the warmth of the bed, the slow rhythm of her breath, and the softened night surrounding her. Her body relaxes completely, releasing any remaining tension, and her mind shifts into the final quiet moments before sleep. The lantern's glow settles into a soft, steady light, no longer bright but gently fading into the calm atmosphere. The rain continues its delicate whisper, supporting the room's peaceful silence. The princess drifts deeper, embraced by the softness around her, ready to surrender to restful sleep. Nothing pulls her back to wakefulness. Nothing troubles the quiet. The night softens fully around her, wrapping her in warmth, calm, and steady ease. She drifts without effort, carried gently by the softened rain and the warm embrace of the room, guided peacefully into deep, unbroken rest.